Good afternoon, everyone. We are down to Chapter 7, entitled Curriculum Innovation. So let us first define innovation. Innovation means a new object, idea, practice, or process adapted by individuals, groups, or organizations according to Marsh and Wills 2007. So, in simpler words, innovation means change. So, in education, it is a planned application of something new to improve effectiveness and efficiency according to Henderson 1985. So, we are now living in the era of change and maraming pagbabago, especially in our educational system. So, innovation occurs to improve the effectiveness and efficiency of our educational system para maka-adapt siya or ma-adapt niya yung needs ng mga students in our generation now. So, when we say curriculum innovation, it means new knowledge, theories, practices, designs, or curricula developed from research to improve learning. So, as what I've said, curriculum innovation is change or bagong curriculum. So, related to curriculum change or planned or unplanned. Innovation imply positive improvements. So, pag sinabi kasi natin curriculum change, it's just a minor change sa existing curriculum. Unlike pag curriculum innovation, it means new knowledge, theories, practices, designs, or lahat is na bago. Hindi siya change into the existing curriculum only, but it is the change as a whole. It will introduce us to new knowledge, new theories, new practices. So, for example, dito sa curriculum change is sa previous curriculum natin, which is yung matatag curriculum. So, pag sinabi natin curriculum change, magbabago lang ng, for example, mag-update lang ng mga textbooks, mayroon lang i-improve sa mga teaching practices, sa mga additional knowledge, like that. But, pag sinabi natin curriculum innovation, so gaya ng sa matatag curriculum, nagkaroon ng bagong curriculum ulit. So that's what we call the curriculum innovation, wherein it introduces us to new theories, new teaching practices, and new teaching designs. So we have here the core changes in schools according to Fulan 1989. So ito yung mga changes na nangyayari kapag when curriculum innovation occurs. So the first one is new grouping or structure. So since curriculum innovation aims change, so ibig sabihin meron ding mga bagong grouping, mga bagong structure or new learning techniques. And also new curriculum materials such as mga bagong textbooks, bagong learning methods, mga additional or updated na mga useful in teaching, and also changes in teaching practices such as activities, skills, behavior. So, kung for example nun is pag-i-integrate ng technology in teaching. So, we have here the different kinds or types of curriculum innovation. The first one is standards-based curriculum. So, it is a curriculum designed around content standards such as knowledge, skills, and dispositions. So, it is considered as curriculum innovation kasi unlike the other teaching process or way of teaching, it introduces to a new way of teaching, which is it is designed around content standards. So, unlike before na nakafocus lang siya into memorizing facts, content standards focuses on the knowledge, skills, and dispositions of the students, meaning it enhances critical thinking and problem solving skills of the students. So, standards are broad and competencies are more specific. So, andun siya sa kung kung naaalala nyo pa yung curriculum guide ng K-12, or unlike sa curriculum, nandoon yung standards, yung content standards, performance standards, which is broad kasi it focuses on the whole ang tawag na doon, content area, or yung for example sa mathematics. Kapag sa numbers and algebra, so 'di ba nandoon na yung isang buong standards for learning standards and for content standards and performance standards. So unlike sa competencies na nahimay-himay na siya or naka-unpack. So competencies are more specific. So it is the basis for core curriculum and K-12 standards. So teachers are actively involved in planning and implementing of this curriculum. So according to Van Tassel and Basca 2008, here are the benefits of standards-based curriculum. Number 1, it prepares students for the 21st century skills wherein to adapt to our new educational system. Number 2, it ensures educational quality. Number 3, it provides guideposts for meaningful outcomes. And number 4, it gives teachers a framework for instruction since it follows a standard for teaching. The second one is the multicultural curriculum. So its goal is to promote cultural literacy and understanding. So this curriculum enables students, or this type of curriculum innovation enables students to accept different cultures, beliefs, and traditions of different groups here in our country. So, according to Banks, there are 5 dimensions of multicultural curriculum. So, una is the content integration, or using examples from diverse cultures. So, for example, sa isang lesson, instead of just using one culture from other group, the teacher will integrate the different cultures from different groups that is related to the topic para lahat is included. And the second one is knowledge construction process. So it examines cultural perspectives in knowledge. Pinapakita niya kung paano nakakaapekto ang culture in studying. Next is the prejudice reductions or developing democratic attitudes. So ang multicultural curriculum aims to develop a positive attitude towards different cultures and different groups, 'di ba? May mga iba't ibang cultures here in our country, and it aims to reduce stereotypes. And number 4 is equity pedagogy, or the teaching adapted for diverse groups. Ito naman is it promotes the teachers to adapt their teaching process para sa mga diverse groups of students para makasabay din sila from those who has different cultures. So for example, sa isang classroom may isang Muslim and merong mga Igorot like that. So the teacher must adapt his or her teaching process para lahat is makasunod sa topic and lahat is maka-cope up. Then the last one is empowering school culture, or restructuring for inclusivity. So, this multicultural curriculum, hindi lang siya nag-i-aim ng inclusivity or ng inclusivity just focusing on the lesson, but also the environment of the school. Dapat lahat ng mga students na may different cultures is feel included. So, ang multicultural curriculum ay may 6 goals according to Binet 1999. So, those are multi-perspectives, cultural consciousness, intercultural competence, combating prejudice, global awareness, and social action skills. So, sa isang madaling salita, it aims to students para tanggapin or ma-accept lahat, or para matutunan lahat ng different cultures na meron tayo dito sa ating country. and not just focusing on their own traditions, own cultures, and to avoid stereotypes. So, multicultural curriculum is considered as curriculum innovation kasi hindi siya nakafocus lang sa iisang culture, but it requires to teach all the different cultures here in our country for inclusivity and for the knowledge of the students. So, the third one is the indigenous curriculum. So, its purpose is to make education relevant to indigenous people by linking curriculum with culture, history, and knowledge system. So, it is different from multicultural curriculum kasi ang indigenous curriculum is relevant to indigenous peoples only. So, it is considered as curriculum innovation kasi it is a new teaching framework wherein it allows the indigenous people to be linked in a curriculum. So, here are the strategies in using the indigenous curriculum. So, number one, it integrates indigenous content such as traditions, history, and knowledge. So, gaya ng sabi ko, it integrates indigenous content. For example, yung mga culture ng Aita, so like that. And number two, it use local language in teaching. So, gaya na lang ng sa mother tongue para matutunan ng mga students, and it promotes the cultural literacy or para mas ma-preserve yung culture ng town na yon. And number three, it involved community members in curriculum design. So, of course, it involves community members. Yung gaya na lang sa mga Aita, yung leader nila, the teacher can ask those kung ano yung mga cultures nila, kung ano pa yung mga dapat na maituro for correct resources kasi mamaya mali yung maituro ng teachers sa students and it can cause misconception about those cultures. Number 4, develop local instructional materials or using those cultural materials or in teaching process. So for example, dito sa ANDA, we can use Binungoy in our IMs. And then number 5, it employ culturally relevant teaching strategies. So the principle of indigenous curriculum is that curriculum must start from the community, environment, and people. So it is important to integrate this indigenous curriculum to students. So the next one is the brain-based education. So itong brain-based education naman, it is a teaching based on how the brain learns best. So hindi siya just forcing to memorize facts or to memorize some informations, but it also uses or it aims to promote the lesson to be engaging and meaningful to students. So, its key ideas are learning is whole brain, wherein we're using our whole brain, hindi lang nakafocus sa isang part ng brain wherein magkakabisado ka lang, wherein it includes physiology, emotions, and imagination. Number 2, brains develop through environment and interaction. So, gaya ng sabi ko, it is not just about memorizing, but also our brain can also develop through environment and interaction. And number 3, meaning is constructed through patterns. And another is emotions and supportive environment are crucial also in learning kasi lahat ng yun is nakakaapekto sa pagkatuto ng isang student. So, it is important to consider how our brain learns best para mas maka-adapt yung students at mas matuto. And number 5 is every brain is unique. So, every one of us is meron tayong kanya-kanyang unique brain at hindi lahat ng students natin is pare-parehas ng way kung paano matututo. So, this type of teaching process or the brain-based education, it is considered as curriculum innovation kasi instead of just unlike before na yung mga students or yung what we call the banking concept wherein magre-receive yung students ng facts. So, merong na-introduce na brain-based education wherein it considers how our brain learns best para mas madaling matuto yung students natin. So, here are the implications. So, letter A, it promotes problem solving and pattern recognition. B, focus on drawing out abilities instead of rigidly measuring them. C, it includes social and cultural context in learning. So, here are the implications of the brain-based education. Letter A, it promotes problem solving and pattern recognition. Letter B, focus on drawing out abilities instead of rigidly measuring them. And letter C, it includes social and cultural context in learning. The fifth one is the gifted education curriculum. So, it is designed to develop gifted learners' potential. So, it is another type of curriculum innovation because it focuses on the gifted learners to develop their potentials. So, we have 5 models of gifted education curriculum. The first one is School-Wide Enrichment Model or SEM by Rinzuli and Rees. So, it develops talents in all children, provides advanced enrichment and opportunities, and focuses on student interests and engagement. So, therefore, the main focus of this model is to where everyone must get enrichment but gifted students get more depth. Or ibig sabihin, lahat naman ng students ay dapat na matuto. But, since ang mga gifted learners is mas advanced nga yung pag-iisip nila or mas mataas yung IQ nila, therefore, they must provide an advanced enrichment and opportunities for them. So, the next model is the Parallel Curriculum Model or the PCM by Carol Ann Tumlinson. So, the focus of this model is looking at the same subject from multiple angles. So, meron tong 4 parallels. And the first one is the core curriculum or it is the essential knowledge or skills that needed to be learned. And number 2, connections or the curriculum of connection where it links across subjects and real life. And then the next one is curriculum of practice or it applies knowledge like a professional world. And then the fourth one is the curriculum of identity or it develops self-understanding and talent. So, this model promotes intellectual growth and expertise for gifted learners. The third one is the autonomous learner model by Betts 2004. So, ang focus naman nito, it is help students to become independent and lifelong learners or para sa mga gifted learners na hindi mapabayaan yung learning nila or para mas maging independent sila and to become a lifelong learners. So, it has 5 dimensions or 5 different stages. So, the first one is the orientation, and then individual development, and then enrichment activities, then seminars, and in-depth studies. So, it emphasizes choice, responsibility, and self-directed learning. The next model is the Integrated Curriculum Model by Van Tassel-Basca. So, ito naman is nakapokus siya sa interdisciplinary, advanced content, and big ideas for a lesson. So, it promotes acceleration, higher order thinking, and deeper understanding about the lesson. Yung itong model na to, meron siyang combination ng advanced content, higher order thinking, and deeper understanding. Wherein, yung for example, yung isang topic is for grade 9, and ang isang gifted learner is alam natin na advance yung enrichment nila or mas mataas yung IQ nila kumpara doon sa mga students na nasa normal or nasa ano lang yung IQ nila, nasa normal rate. So, yung mga content na for them is advanced. It also require high order thinking such as problem solving and analysis, and deeper understanding of the context, or dapat it looks at the bigger picture of the lesson. So the last model is the Kids Academia Model, or also called as Purdue 3-Stage Model or Purdue Academic Model by Sumnida 2010. So, this model focuses on creativity and problem solving for gifted learners. So, meron siyang 3 dimensions or 3 stages. So, ang una is advanced content or the divergent thinking wherein it allows gifted learners to create creative ideas. And next is process or product, or the product development, or they are allowed to make tangible projects. And last is issues or themes, or the convergent thinking, where it allows the gifted learners to choose best ideas and to solve problems. So the remaining models will be discussed by the next reporter. So that's all. Thank you.